Welcome back to Fire Emblem Three Houses. I decided to split this up into two parts because in total there will be 29 support conversations. This one will feature mainly three characters. Myself, or Byleth if you want to be technical, the newly returning Dedue, and Ashe. So here are all the support conversations, the timestamps, and all of that right here. I just wanted to end it on a good note, I guess, so I put the Flayn and the Seteth one as last for this one, to make it 15. So the next one will be 14. Let's go ahead and get into all of these conversations.
I can't believe how long it's been since I left home. Since I was dragged out of the house, I mean. 5 whole years. It's weird to think about.
Weird in what way?
At first, I remember I was desperate to go back, but now it's the opposite. I have friends here, and I have you. The monastery's become a second home to me. Back then, I never would have dreamed a day like this would come.
I'm happy for you.
It's all thanks to you. You've given me a second chance at life. If not for you, I never would have gotten used to leaving my room, let alone the monastery. Maybe the battlefields just dulled my senses. I'm much better with strangers and new places now, though. I don't panic nearly as much as before.
Could you go somewhere new by yourself?
A new place? All on my own? That sounds like a tough assignment. Where did this come from all of a sudden? Hey, hold on. You're teasing me, aren't you? Please don't joke around like that anymore. It's torture for me.
Alright.
You're still not taking me seriously. I mean it. Promise me you won't do that again. Friends respect each other's feelings, don't they?
No. Okay, I promise.
Good. I'll hold you to that. You're absolutely not allowed to send me out anywhere on my own. Got it? You would need to come with me. If you're with me, I can go anywhere in the world.
I'll be with you in spirit.
No, that defeats the purpose. Why can't you get what I'm saying? I thought we were finally getting close. I guess I'm not good enough for that, though, am I? I'll let you have this one, but you better be ready for next time.
I actually see what she's getting at, but that'll probably be handled in the S conversation.
Dear Goddess, please allow His Majesty to rest in peace. Who is it? Oh, Professor. What brings you here at this hour?
I was just taking a walk.
The hour is late, Professor. You should be resting in preparation for the day to come.
What were you doing?
I was offering my prayers to the Goddess. It is all that I can do now. I told you I was in service of the royal family, yes? When I was only a young soldier, the king saw fit to make a knight of me. I was given the great honor of guiding and protecting the royal family.
Guiding?
It was similar to your own work. I was a teacher of sorts. I instructed both King Lambert and Prince Dimitri in the arts of combat, tactics, and academia. I also did all in my power to keep them safe. Until that day. I was unable to fulfill my duty. I was powerless.
You mean the tragedy of Dusker?
Yes. When I received word of the attack, it was already too late. His Majesty was dead, along with many knights and soldiers. If only I had made it to Dusker more quickly. It is my fault that His Highness Dimitri has become the way he is now. After that, I abandoned my wife and child and fled my homeland. I turned my back on everything I swore to protect. My sins are countless. I will bear the weight of my guilt for as long as I live.
You're going about this the wrong way.
Apologizing to my daughter and wife, devoting myself to His Highness. That is the way to atonement. And yet, even if I am granted the forgiveness of those who still live, praying is all I can do to atone to those who are with us no more.
Praying won't help you atone.
Long ago, there was someone who told me something quite similar. Forgive me. This will not do. As I grow older, I find myself talking endlessly about the past, but it is too late for such things now. I have finished my prayers. We should return.
He was shocked when I told him that prayers aren't going to help you atone. It's basically more actions rather than words, I suppose.
Hello, Professor. What brings you here? Fancy a bit of fishing?
Yes.
You know, I can hardly go fishing without thinking of old Gerald. He and I would just sit here, casting our lines again and again. I'm no better at it now than I was then. Not a single nibble.
Maybe if you were quieter.
Just like your father. You know all the tricks of the fisherman's trade. I was hopeless at it, but he was a master. In the time it took me to catch one fish, he could fill his basket to the brim. You know, talking to you, I'm feeling very nostalgic. Why don't you join me? We can trade some stories about the old man. We spoke before about how Gerald never seemed to age, right? Once, when he was drunk, he let the secret slip. He said he'd had an infusion of crest-bearing blood, and it had greatly extended his life.
You're kidding, right?
Well, we'd both been drinking. I figured he was joking, so I just laughed it off. Then I asked him his age. He said he'd stopped counting after he hit 100. And he was telling the truth. In those 20 years he was away, he didn't age a bit. An incredible person, to be sure. And I probably don't know the half of it. Actually, I'd like to ask you something about Gerald, if you don't mind. When Gerald was away from the monastery, what was he like?
He liked the fish.
In other words, he was exactly the same. When he was with the knights, he always found time to go fishing. He was hooked on it, you might say. He'd say there was no greater pleasure in life than sinking his teeth into a fish he'd caught and washing it down with a drink. I have to say, right now, fishing with you, it really takes me back. This feels just like the good old days, when Gerald was sitting alongside me.
Watch these support conversations. Whenever you play this game, whenever you play like any of the games, just try to build up supports, because you learn so much about the characters that the game doesn't show you.
Thanks for your help out there. Battles tend to go smoother with you around.
Smoother?
I can count on you doing most of the heavy lifting. It may be unwise to think this way on the battlefield, but I feel I can trust your commands without question.
Why's that?
Not sure. I might have an idea, but never mind. I've also noticed that you've been putting me in more precarious situations lately. Almost like you know I won't question your orders.
I know I can rely on you.
Huh. I'm glad you trust me to get the job done, but still. I knew you were doing it on purpose. You're in a very important position now that you're leading the charge against the Empire. Funny to think you used to just teach at the Officers' Academy. Your old students still call you Professor. That's no title for the commander of an army.
I actually like it.
You'll always be their professor, huh? You sure are an interesting one. My people lost the war, and I was left to wander Fodlan alone, but I guess meeting you was my prize. You look confused. Did you not know any of this? I was living in my homeland of Dagda up until the Imperial Army destroyed it 10 years ago. But being a mercenary, I have no real allegiance. That's why I'm working here now. Don't worry though, I don't plan to turn on you.
I don't need people turning on me. Especially you, Shamir. It always starts like this.
Here for the flowers again?
Not particularly.
You might as well have a look while you are here. I have two things to say. First, I thank you for supporting His Highness in my absence. But I must also admonish you for taking your own well-being too lightly. On several occasions, I have seen you protect others by putting yourself in harm's way. I am grateful for your efforts, but I feel you should place a higher value on your own life. His Highness relies on you, as do I.
I understand.
Then show that with your actions. We cannot afford to lose an invaluable asset like you. And... This greenhouse would be a more lonely place without you in it. It would not be fair to the flowers to leave me their only caretaker.
I mean, I was here before you came back. Glad you're back, though.
Someday, I hope to show you a whole landscape of these flowers in full bloom.
You mean Dusker?
Yes. Once this conflict is over, and His Highness ascends the throne, I believe it can be done. You must live at least until then. Understood?
Same to you.
That's true enough. I had not thought much of my own life until now. Except that I would gladly cast it aside for His Highness. That is still true, but now I desire to see the end of this war. Until I can show you the fields of Duscur in bloom, I will go on living.
That ends their support conversations. Honestly, most of the dues are ending.
Hey, wait.
What is it?
You defended me in battle. Why?
His Highness does not wish for our military strength to be depleted. The loss of your strength would be significant.
You are a colossal idiot. One slip-up and you would have died. You think you would have been happy about that?
No, I do not.
Then why protect me? I thought you were his mindless weapon, his sword and shield.
I heard about your brother. He was at Duscur. He died to protect His Highness.
He did, but I don't see what that has to do with anything. Are you repaying some kind of debt? I hope you're not going to praise his death. I hear enough of that from my old man.
I will not praise it then. Instead, I will say I would have done the same in his position. Is it really so unnatural to put one's life on the line to protect a brother in arms?
To hear a rabid dog call me a brother in arms.
Your insults are merely an attempt to avoid addressing me as what I am. I am a man of Duscur, yet you were concerned for my life.
Concerned is a strong word. Your death would have been unpleasant, that's all.
Coming from you, that is enough.
What's that supposed to mean? I just meant... Never mind. Okay, go ahead, protect me. But if you act like a fool and get yourself killed, I'll kill you.
How can you kill me if I am already dead?
You know what I meant.
It's a figure of speech. That turned out better than it was heading. You know what I mean.
You're quite late getting back.
The scouting mission didn't go well. I was so busy I didn't even have time to eat.
I thought that might be the case. Gilbert was exhausted too. Glad you made it. I saved some food for you.
Oh, thanks. I'm starving. Your cooking's fantastic, as always. The spices were a nice touch. I can really taste the Duscur inspiration. You remembered that I wanted to try more Duscur cuisine, didn't you?
Yes. How is it?
Amazing. You're a much better chef than I am.
Your cooking is not bad at all.
Thanks. My father would be glad to hear it.
Is he the one who taught you?
Not exactly. I learned from watching him work the kitchen in his restaurant. And what about you? I think you said that you and your sister helped with the cooking at home.
Yes. I learned by watching my mother. Nothing remains of Duscur. The towns, the people, the culture. All of it was put to the torch. My mother and sister are gone. Yet that simple memory of them standing together in the kitchen is so clear, so real.
So in a way, you put those memories into this meal.
Yes. Through me, they are able to live on.
I like that way of thinking. The church may not like my feelings on this, but in Fodlan, when people die, they pass on to be with the goddess, right?
I suppose.
That seems so far away. I'd rather they stayed here. My parents, my brother, Lanato, maybe they can all live on through me, too.
As long as you think of them, they will.
Dedue. Your cooking is delicious. It really is.
Careful, or you will oversalt it.
It's all right. Thank you, Dedue.
Eat as much as you'd like.
That ends their conversation. Also, for the last one, that ends their conversation too.
Oh, Dedue! Are you praying to the goddess of Fodlan? That seems odd. Won't the Dusker gods be upset if they hear you praying to another land's deity?
The Fodlan goddess was recognized in Dusker, too. The deities of foreigners are seen as the protectors of their respective lands. It has been said that we would offer our prayers to her in times of war.
Huh. So the goddess is part of a pantheon. I guess that's one way to interpret it. Anyway, what are you praying for?
For peace to come even one day sooner.
That's a lovely prayer. I was just thinking about praying for that myself.
I see.
Hey, Dedue, what are your plans for yourself once this war is finally over?
To serve His Highness for the rest of my days.
I thought you might say that.
And you?
That's a good question. I was thinking about traveling to Dusker.
To Dusker? There is nothing of interest left there.
Isn't it where you were born? And isn't it where your wonderful food and stories come from? I think those are reasons enough to visit at least once.
Mercedes. If you will allow it, I would like to accompany you. His Highness would surely grant me leave to go.
You really think so? Then I hope the war ends as soon as possible.
As do I.
We're going to have to shower the goddess with prayers. We'll pray that she watches over and protects us while we work to end this war. Then, when it's finally finished, we can travel.
That promises to be interesting. We should pray to the Dusker gods as well.
Yes, that's a brilliant idea. Which of the Dusker gods should we pray to?
For victory, we pray to the god of war, or just the god of war.
Come on, what were you going to say? Oh, I know. It's the god of travel, right?
Let us leave it at that.
I knew I was right. You taught me so much about your gods. So let's pray. For the end of the war, and for our safe travels to Dusker.
That ends their conversation.
I'm sorry. So sorry.
What is it, Annette?
I completely forgot that it's my turn for kitchen duty today. Huh? Did you do all the kitchen prep already?
Kitchen duty is mine today.
What? But, oh, did I get the day wrong?
Yes, yours is tomorrow.
Oh, I'm so sorry. Wow, I really am something else.
These things happen. Is something funny?
Oh, no, I was just happy. So, you probably already know this, but my uncle is really strict. He wanted me to be perfect at cooking, studying, cleaning, washing, everything really. He said if I wasn't perfect, as a knight's daughter, I'd be devaluing my crest. Whenever I messed up, he looked so mad, and he'd sigh like he just lost his faith in humanity.
That is harsh.
Oh, I know he loved me and all. He was just kinda scary. But you've helped me out and been patient with me without getting mad. I'm just so happy. Thank you, Dedue.
I have hardly done anything.
You know what? You remind me of my father.
Of Gilbert.
You look scary at first glance, but you're actually really kind.
Is that so?
Oh, right! Let me help you with something, if that's okay with you. What are you cooking today? Hopefully I can chip in.
It is a meat dish from Fargus.
I'm still a complete klutz, so I'm not gonna be in the way, am I?
Not at all. I was hoping that the food I made would bring a smile to your face.
Oh, wow. That's... Well then, I can't wait for dinner time.
Good.
That ends their support conversations. I'm gonna keep saying this until they stop ending.
Dedue? Are you okay? You look unwell.
Ingrid. Is my face frightening?
What? I mean, or sort of? Or not exactly. I wouldn't use the word frightening. Aggressive, maybe? But it's really nothing to worry about. Why? Did someone say something cruel?
I made a village child cry.
Oh, I see. Let me guess. You feel like you look frightening, so you walked around with a smile glued to your face.
How did you know?
I'm starting to understand how you think. The thing is, forced smiles never work well. They usually just end up making a person look creepy and insincere.
I see. Duly noted.
I hate when people tell me to smile, because I feel that same exact way.
To be honest, when we first met, I was pretty intimidated by you. Not because of a smile, but a lack of any emotion whatsoever. And you so rarely spoke. I had no idea what to make of you. But that's only because I wasn't making an effort to get to know you. Because you were from Duscur. As I started to get to know you, to understand your personality, I realized what a fool I'd been.
Personality?
You may come off intimidating, but underneath that cool exterior is a kind, loyal, and noble person. A really wonderful person. In a certain regard, you are one of the knightliest people I know. What is it?
Wonderful person. This is the first time anyone has ever said a thing like that to me. It is rather awkward.
It's only awkward if you make it awkward. Which it kind of is, now. Ugh.
Well, let me know if you need anything.
Yes, of course. Same to you, Dedue.
Well, that ended awkwardly.
Chop the vegetables into bite-sized pieces. After that, skim the top layer off the pan. Be mindful of the heat.
Certainly, Chef Dedue.
There is no need to call me that. Are you displeased?
No, not in the slightest. I just got momentarily sleepy. It happens to me from time to time. Let me see. First, chop the vegetables. Coming right up, Chef. Dedue?
Good.
I am so bored. Day in and day out, it is nothing but dicing vegetables and waiting for water to boil. I want to feel like I am actually cooking. It is not as though I do not know the basics. He could at least let me hold the spatula sometime.
Next, we peel the vegetables.
Chef Dedue, I was hoping to speak with you regarding something that has been on my mind.
Speak?
Surely you have noticed my skill while wielding pans and knives. Therefore, I think it is time you taught me how to cook. Beyond all this water boiling and vegetable chopping business.
Impossible.
But why?
All must be done in the proper sequence. And the first step here, whether you like it or not, is to learn to use the tools perfectly.
Come now! You have seen how I use a ladle. You know I'm good for it. He has left me no option but to take matters into my own hands. Stubborn you may be, Chef Dedue, but I will show you the true meaning of delicious.
This isn't going to end well.
Ah, hello. Dedue, yes?
Finished praying?
I am, yes. You have grown much since I saw you last. You're a man now.
You barely know me.
True. I suppose we did only meet a handful of times.
As haggard as you look now, you were even worse when I last saw you in the capital.
Haggard, eh? True enough.
Still weighed down by the same regret, I see.
I was unable to protect the king. That is the ultimate failure. One I must atone for.
If you have the spare time to beg forgiveness, then pick up a lance and train.
That would do nothing to atone for the dead.
Your prayers are mere self-indulgence.
You do not understand.
No, I do not. Fargus needed you. His Highness needed you.
There was no other choice but for me to leave. What would you have done if you were in my place? If His Highness had died due to your failures?
If he commanded me to live, then I would live. Otherwise, I would die with him. I have nothing left to lose other than His Highness. Home, family, all but that man I have already lost. You were a knight in service to the king for decades. Not only did you excel in bravery, wisdom, and tactics, but in matters of character, you were an ideal knight, utterly above reproach. That is what His Highness has always said. I have only come this far by modeling my conduct after his stories of you. But now...
Forget those words spoken by His Highness. I am no different a man than I was before, beaten down by sin, alone and weak. I am lost and irredeemable.
Yeah, this is going to be a pretty interesting one. Though I'm not sure if it goes up to A or if it stops at B.
Hello, Catherine. I thought I might find you here.
Is there something I can do for you, Ashe?
Yes. Could you tell me what you know about this?
This is quite an old letter. Where'd you find it?
It was found in the bishop's room during the inquiry of the Western Church.
I see. It's one of the documents you collected.
This letter mentions my brother, Christoph Gaspar, by name. He was executed by the church for allegedly taking part in the tragedy of Duscur. I know you were the one who turned him over. But this letter isn't about that. It's about a plot to assassinate Lady Rhea. If my brother's name is in here, that means this plot predates the tragedy. So there was another plot against Lady Rhea in the past, and my brother was somehow involved.
Ah.
I can tell by your face that you know something. Tell me, Catherine. Please, I deserve to know.
Christoph was a good man. Maybe too good. It wasn't in his nature to mistrust people. So when the Western Church told him that Lady Rhea had to die for the goddess's sake, or the world's, he went along with it.
Just how well did you know my brother?
Christoph and I were friends. We were in the Blue Lion House together at the academy.
If you were friends, why did you hand him over to be executed? There must have been another way.
No. If there was another option, I'd have chosen it. But he was foolish. He went along with the plan to assassinate Lady Rhea. I wasn't motivated by a personal grudge. I had no choice but to turn him in. That much is true.
I can't believe that my brother would try to assassinate Lady Rhea. But if he did, That means the church was lying about his involvement in the tragedy of Duscur, doesn't it?
Lying is a strong word. The world was in chaos, and the church did what it had to. If people had known about the threat to Lady Rhea's life, the panic would only have worsened.
So you're saying everything in this letter is true?
You can choose what to believe. All I know is I let him die, and that's something I can never change. Now, if you'll excuse me.
Catherine, wait! Please!
They need to do prequel DLC. Because all these stories of what happened before this, it's pretty interesting.
No good. I've lost sight of them completely, and those monsters might still be out there. I'd better get back to the monastery before dark.
Ashe! Ashe! I finally found you.
Cyril? What are you doing here? You're awfully far from your post.
I'd heard you'd gone missing, so I started looking for you everywhere. Here, I brought you a map. You can use this to get home later, right?
You came all this way for that? Alone? It's dangerous out here.
Am I being a nuisance?
Well, of course not. This is a big help, actually. You took a serious risk coming out here, though.
But I thought we were friends. That's what you told me, Ashe. You said friends help each other when they're in trouble.
I did say that. You're right. Come on, let's get back to the monastery. I could use your help finding the way.
I know you could. That's why I came out here. Oh no, I just thought about it. I'm gonna be in trouble when I get back, huh?
Maybe. Leaving your post is against orders. But don't worry, I'll take a share of the punishment.
What? Why? You did nothing wrong.
True. We're friends, though, aren't we?
Friends gotta get punished together, too? I don't know about all that.
I wouldn't put it like that. I'd say friends stick together, through good and bad. So, let's split the blame. That's what friends are for.
Wow, so that's what friends are for. Okay then, when you're in trouble next time and you need my help, I'll go with you to get punished.
That is not what friends are for.
Good. I hope you remember that, because I think we're going to be friends for a long time.
You betcha. Friends for life, Ashe. That's a promise.
That is not what friends are for. Unless I'm just a bad friend in general.
Brother!
Flayn, is something the matter?
I thought I made it clear that I do not want you meddling in the affairs of me and my friends.
I am not quite sure what you are referring to, but I promise you I would never try to stand in your way.
It has come to my attention that you have been running about asking people what they think of me. Asking everyone!
Well, of course I have. It took me quite some time. But for you, it was well worth the effort. I was able to confirm that you are getting along well with everyone. It was very reassuring.
I cannot emphasize enough how embarrassed I was when I found out. And you have caused such a stir for those whom you questioned.
They're not going to say that they don't get along with her to her brother.
Why, one person even said he feared for his life when you cornered him in the dining hall.
The dining hall? Ah, I know the fellow you are referring to. Yes, I've seen the way he looks at you. I recognized in an instant that he had impure feelings for you. As your brother, I took it upon myself to test his resolve. I merely asked him if he was prepared to lay his life on the line for my beloved sister.
He is nothing more than a friend. Kindly keep out of my social business in the future.
I am happy to see that you are making friends, but you should weigh your options more carefully.
Who I befriend is absolutely none of your business. Do you know what they call people like you? Overprotective meddlers. I am no longer a child. Are you incapable of trusting me, even a little?
Of course I trust you, but as an elder brother, I have a certain responsibility.
As my brother?
Obviously.
Oh, never mind it. If you'll excuse me.
That one got even more interesting. That's why I wanted to end it on that note. So, next time we'll go through the last 14 or so support conversations for this chapter before we get into the main battle. So, until next time, I'll be seeing ya.